This is Dolan TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And let me tell you, you know what? We keep every Saturday and Sunday we're talking about players on loan, players in Europe, players here, players there, doing that, this or that. Well, something we haven't talked about recently is players with the Bakersfield Condors. Now, this is kind of a complicated situation, i.e., because, right, obviously all the players we've talked about that would be with the Bakersfield Condors this year are overseas in Europe, and they're the guys we've been talking about playing in Europe for the past several weeks now. Well, that's not entirely the truth. Because the Condors, if you might remember, there were about 2 or 3 Dolan TV videos that came out. One with guest Shea Getzinger talking about James Hamlin, who we'll get to in a moment, and a couple other videos discussing players that the Condors themselves had signed. Guys that Keith Gretzky got the authorization on the farm club to sign. Okay, well, what about those guys? That's kind of the question. And Sam from Bakersfield, man, I was going to say Baco and then I hesitated and said Bakersfield instead. Sunday morning, you guys know how I am normally. But anyway, Sam got in touch with me and said, hey, look, you got to check this page of Elite Prospects out. And I did check out that page of Elite Prospects because there's a couple interesting parts to it for the Oilers. Of course, if you were paying good enough attention this past summer, you would know that we discussed an Oilers draft pick named Mcphee. He ended up not signing with the Oilers, but in turn signed with the Bakersfield Condors, similar to late round pick Vinny Desharnais and what he did this previous season with Bakersfield and Wichita. So that leaves us, obviously that's your probably biggest Oilers connection when it comes to these guys, is talking about a guy like Mcphee. Now my personal other favorite is to see the development of James Hamlin, similar to Cameron Hebig, kind of two guys that went late into their junior career in the WHL, see where they go at the AHL and ECHL levels. But all these guys right now as it stands, all these guys that the Condors signed, re-signed, whatever you want to say, a majority of them are over playing in Europe just like the rest of our guys. They're on loan. Interesting enough, right? Okay, fair, good. So you got a total of one defenseman and 6 forwards from the Bakersfield Condors roster, what is their actual roster, not the NHL loan situation or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what the proper term farm club roster is. So that's one defenseman and 6 forwards for us to discuss how they've been doing in Europe. And we'll start at the bottom of the list actually, because there's an Oilers connection with the 2 guys that are playing in the ICHL. That I believe is in Austria, and they're playing there with Dornbirner. And I mean that's pretty much useless to you, me, and the next guy, right? Saying they're playing in the ICHL with Dornbirner. Oh, you might think about Olivier Rodrigue playing with the Graz 99ers of the ICHL. Okay, is that the connection? No. There was one game this season that featured Cooper Marody with the ICHL's Dornbirner EC. So that's where I'm going with that connection. Is Cooper Marody a guy that is in the Oilers system, a guy that we loaned over there, and I don't think I've heard an update, but that's kind of Cooper Marody for you. Is nobody really seems to care enough to give you an update on him when something goes wrong or right. So unfortunately for that guy, again, I don't have any information on what's going on there. So that is those 2 Bakersfield Condors signings. They're both college players that signed there. And I mean, they're from NCAA schools. Yanni Kaldis of the ICHL Dornbirner squad. He's the defenseman who I was talking about. That's why I'll start with him. He's had 17 games played for Dornbirner, 2 goals, 7 assists, and 9 points. So that's just to give you an idea, right? We've had a guy over in the ICHL getting all the headlines in Olivier Rodrigue, but I don't think anyone's even batted an eye to check what their old friend Yanni Kaldis is doing. But right? Okay, I'm having a little bit of fun with you. Devin Brasso, another guy, another NCAA free agent signing with the Bakersfield Condors, playing with Thornburner as well in the ICHL. 17 games played, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points total. So these two guys combining for 17 points in 17 games. Not too bad. Now, hold on. We got another guy in the ICHL. Oh, Tyson, say it ain't so. Where do we keep finding these teams to loan our players to? Well, the Bakersfield Condors and Keith Gretzky did this one. Graham Mcphee, yeah, that Oilers pick that I was talking about, that signed with the Condors after college. He's in the ICHL as well with Vienna, the Vienna Capitals, and he has played 15 games, a goal, 3 assists for a total of 4 points. So there's your little stat line on Graham Mcphee, who we are looking to see if he does the Vinny Desharnais ECHL AHL train, or if he even gets a chance to play in North America this year, depending on what happens with the AHL squad. Now, the other guy I was very interested in to get you some information on before we get to the guy who's absolutely lighting up Europe is James Hamlin, right? The Medicine Hat Tigers player that signed with the Condors after exceeding junior eligibility. Well, he's in the Hockey Etan. I don't know. It's in Sweden. I think it's below the Allsvenskan, so either one level or 2 levels below. I couldn't figure that out on Elite Prospects. If somebody could figure that out, that'd be great. And he plays for Ostersunds, which is the team in the Hockey Etan. And 16 games played, 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points. So that's success. I mean, this is a guy that if there's an ability to call up to the Allsvenskan and the loans all work, that's a guy you'd maybe want to challenge at the Allsvenskan level, because this guy, James Hamlin, looking like he's lighting it up, no questions asked. Now, you want to talk about lighting it up, no questions asked. There's this hockey league in Austria, by the looks of it, called the Alps HL. And that's where we find Jake Stukel, journeyman, kind of, or I guess, veteran of the AHL game for the Bakersfield Condors. And he's playing with the VE Felderkirch. I'm not sure which one it is. It's K-E or K-I-R-C-H to end it. So I don't know if it's Feld. I guess it wouldn't be Felder. It'd be Feldkirch or Feldkirch. I'm not sure which one. Again, Austrian, not very my not really my forte in terms of understanding European languages. I mean, sorry guys, that's until the Oilers get an Austrian player, maybe then we'll start understanding a little bit better here. But there are too many European hockey leagues where we have too many guys loaned to, and it's way too confusing at this point. But we'll get it going. Somebody will correct me. That is the best part. Somebody will correct me after that little bit of a stammer there. So, anyway, Jake Stukel in the Alps HL. He's had 11 games played, 13 goals, 13 assists, and 26 points on the season. So, yeah, he is by far and above the guy dominating the most. But when you talk about a guy that should be in the ICHL, that would be Jake Stukel. And a guy maybe that shouldn't be in the ICHL, maybe Graham Mcphee, Yanni Caldas, or Devin Brasso. That's just my opinion. All right, Liam Folks. He's playing in Denmark with the Whitehawks. I don't even want to try and pronounce the team name, or city name, so we won't even go there. I failed on the last one. We aren't going here a second time. 9 games played. I even clearly marked this. You wouldn't believe this on my spreadsheet. I clearly marked this. 9 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. That's Liam Folks, another NCAA kid, or I believe this was actually a different set of school leagues kids. Liam Folk and Blake Christensen. Blake Christensen, who's in Norway, playing for Mangelrud. 5 games played. Again, was going to do it. 5 games played, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points total. So that really is the wrap on these guys, right? Those are the 6 guys or 7 guys on loan over there in Europe from the Bakersfield Condors. This isn't the Oilers. These aren't typical true Oilers prospects, but these are guys that are playing for the farm club or the ECHL club, and these are guys that Keith Gretzky, who has the overarching say, has loaned overseas to Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Untitled TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next one.